So I did a bit of traveling because over the course of the past month or so, I've been shopping for a car, as you've noticed in my last videos. And I wasn't in a rush. I took my time. But I found one that ticked all the boxes. And it was a rare bird, in fact. So I traveled here to get a closer look at it. My luggage in here. So this is where I parked, and I stayed at this lovely hotel. The car is ready to go. All my stuff is packed away. Winter tires are in the back. Well, I'll let you in a little secret. The only time I've locked this car is when I'm traveling, or when I know I'm going to be away from the car for a long period of time. Otherwise, I never locked it. Nobody ever broke in. They probably saw the stick shift and walked along. There we are. We have 144,000 kilometers. It's due for a service, and the new owner knows that. Or new owner. The place I'm trading it in knows that. So now I'm off to the bank to get a draft for the new car. Stay tuned. So, I've arrived at Mazda of Toronto. So that gives you a clue as to what I'm getting. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to talk. Take my glasses off. Oh, can I turn the camera around? Well, maybe not. Okay, well, let's pause. Okay, now I can turn the camera around. So, the journey of owning this car has been pretty satisfying. I bought it originally as a winter car because my Mini Cooper convertible was, well, it was really a summer car. Even though I was driving it year-round, it got to a point where it was spending more and more time in the shop, so I thought, okay, I'm going to keep the Mini for summer, and I'm going to buy something just basic for a winter car, but I wanted something new. I didn't want something that was used with someone else's problems. I needed something that reliably started every single time, regardless of what was going on in my life. And I wanted something cheap. And the Mirage fit, ticked all the boxes. It was within the budget that I had set every month. It was actually below the budget that I had set every month, so that was a bonus. It was a manual, that was a must. It was brand new. It had zero creature comforts other than automatic climate control, which has worked flawlessly in the past 4.5 years through all seasons. The AC worked beautifully. It actually was more efficient because of the tinted windows. The manual transmission was fantastic. Even in deep snow and really, really good winter tires, I was never stuck. All the little creature comforts that I added to the car, like the leather-wrapped steering wheel, made it a little bit more fun to drive, or more enjoyable to drive, I should say. The audio system was a joy to listen to in this environment compared to the garbage stock electronics. But the car, for what it was, did what it needed to do. It got great fuel efficiency. It always started. It never let me down. Nothing ever went wrong with it, and it's still under the powertrain warranty. I'm still under 160,000 kilometers on it. So whoever ends up buying it is going to have a little bit of peace of mind in that respect. Not that there's anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with the car. There was no drama with this thing. It was ultra reliable and ultra bulletproof. things I had liked and did not like at the same time. It's a basic car. Basic, honest transportation. It's like the Volkswagen Beetle of the modern world. Nothing fancy. It's a pure utilitarian appliance that gets the job done and reliably. I should use my windshield mount. My arm's getting tired. The seats are just comfortable enough for short trips. Long trips, forget it. Not that your body's going to be aching, but I have noticed, especially driving here to Toronto from Ottawa, my body did get a bit stiffer, so I did some yoga, and that definitely helped. But you don't want, this is not a car where you spend a lot of seat time in, but if you needed to, you could. What else? Highway driving, it'll do it. But that's not really what this car is designed for. It's designed as a city car. So small enough to park anywhere. Big enough to haul groceries for those trips. Going on the highway, though, it'll still do highway speed. Like on the way here, there were periods of highway on the 401 that are 100 kilometers an hour. 60 miles an hour. Many stretches are 110 or 70 miles an hour. It did it, but fuel economy suffered. So the whole point of this car is fuel economy. So if you're spending a lot of time on the highway, this is not the best choice. One of the reasons I purchased this at the time, 4.5 years ago, my lifestyle was such that the trips I was doing, there was maybe 10% highway. Over the course of the past 2 years or so, I've been spending more and more time on the highway. So what potentially could have been great fuel economy for my trips started to dwindle away, and that's what kind of got me started looking. Now, when I bought this car, the idea was shortly after I bought this car, the Mini went into the shop again. And I thought, COVID had just started. Things were moving along as far as the world shutting down. And I found winter storage for the Mini, but I wasn't comfortable storing it. I was more comfortable with it sitting in my driveway for the season. But that meant putting a car cover on it, which isn't that big of a deal. But I thought, what the hell? Maybe now that it's fixed, maybe I'll put it on the open market. I'll put it on the market and see if there's a buyer. And I wasn't going to give it away. Like if no buyer came along, then I was just going to keep it. So I put it for a price that I thought was fair, especially since it had a full service history and I did all the work and everything, and it was beautiful, ready to go. Someone ended up buying it. And everybody was surprised, especially everybody in the Mini Club, and even my wife, because she knew I really, really liked that car. But in the end, I thought, okay, it's gone to a different owner. I'm going to drive this, and I'm going to bide my time and find my next Mini out, but I'm certainly in no rush. And as time went on and I kept looking, I kept realizing that because the Mini only uses premium fuel, every time I went to fuel it up, especially now with gas prices being the way they are, it kind of irked me. Even though that tank of fuel lasted a really long time, I just hated seeing that number at the pump. So I kept driving my Mirage and reveling in the fact that I could put next to 30 liters of fuel in, and it would take me almost 600 kilometers. That was a real joy, despite the fact that it wasn't the most comfortable ride. And it's noisy, and it's light, and it's got its own personality, but that's besides the point. So I came to the realization that I'm probably never going to buy another Mini because of that. And that's when I started shopping. I'd been saving and saving and saving and saving. So I wanted something basic, but more comfortable for the highway. But I didn't want an SUV, and I didn't want a lot of doodads. I wanted something very, very clean and simple that still had the joy of driving in it. So having a manual transmission was at the top of the list if I could find it. Didn't want a sunroof. because that's what the convertible's for, and I find the sunroof just heats up the cabin and doesn't insulate it as well, so no sunroof for me. Other than that, price, of course, was a factor. I wanted to stay in budget. I didn't want to borrow any money, and I wanted something that had a good... I've always been preaching that when you shop for a car, if you can buy it with cash, and if you can get a lease return from the dealer manufacturer where it's only been one owner and it's been taken care of, and get a pre-purchase inspection. So I ticked all those boxes. I found this car, which I'll show you in a bit. I have to go and see the salesman first to make sure that it's all the stuff's been done. So, one owner, lease return at the dealer that originally sold it to the owner. Well taken care of. Service history. I got a pre-purchase inspection done. They're doing the safety. They're doing all the licensing. The mechanic that looked at this car said this thing is one of the best cars they've ever seen. So that was definitely good. And this is kind of bittersweet because I've really enjoyed this Mirage, and I will miss it, but it's time for something a bit better. And in a few moments, I will show you exactly what I got. Okay, so I just stopped off in Colburn because I was getting a little hungry. And I left the dealership roughly about an hour ago. Well, a little bit more than an hour. And this thing is just an absolute dream on the highway. But the thing that surprised me the most, I want to show you something. Okay, just to give you an idea. So, from Ottawa to Toronto in the Mirage, it was windy, and I did the posted speed limit. So some sections were 100k, others were 110. I was getting roughly, according to the computer, 6 liters per 100 kilometers an hour. This thing, since I left the dealership, I've been doing the posted speed limit. The adaptive cruise control is a dream. But I want to show you. I want to show you what the computer is telling me. Look at that. My average to date from the time that I left is 5.5. I've still got a range of 650k according to the computer. I did not expect this at all. I did not expect this at all. I was going into this expecting, 7.5, 8, according to everything I've read on Reddit. I am absolutely gobsmacked by this. Anyway, I'm going to keep going, and more to follow.